이번 목적지는 전통적인 학기 시스템 대신 블록 플랜을 사용하는 몇 안 되는 대학 중 하나인데요. 바로 콜로라도 칼리지입니다. 학생들은 콜로라도 칼리지를 줄여서 CC라고 부르는데요. CC는 2020년도 US 뉴스 앤 월드 리포트에 따르면 미국 최고의 리버럴아츠 칼리지 25위에 올랐고 미국 서부에서는 3위에 올랐다고 해요. CC에서는 혁신을 가장 중요하게 여깁니다. 2015년 포브스에서 미국 최고의 창업 칼리지 3위에 선정됐고 2020년 US 뉴스 앤 월드 리포트에서는 전국의 가장 혁신적인 리버럴아츠 칼리지 3위에 선정됐죠. 이 학교의 평균 강의 규모는 약 15명이고 학생 교수 비율이 10대 1인 친밀한 학습 환경을 자랑합니다. 2020년 CC는 US 뉴스 앤 월드 리포트에서 전국 리버럴아츠 칼리지 중 최고의 학부 교육 프로그램 5위에 선정됐죠. 콜로라도 칼리지가 말하는 혁신은 어떤 모습인지 알아볼 준비 되셨나요? 함께 가시죠. 저는 미국 미시간 대학교에서 경제학을 공부하며 유학생활을 시작한 이현진입니다. 여러분과 함께 미국에서의 대학생활을 엿보며 학생과 교직원을 직접 만나 더 깊은 이야기를 들어보려고 합니다. 미국 명문 대학들을 탐방할 준비가 되셨나요? 그럼 출발합니다. 아름다운 로키산맥 남부를 배경으로 파이크스 피크가 보이는 콜로라도 칼리지는 아웃도어 활동이 학생들의 일상이 되는 곳입니다. 콜로라도 스프링스 시내에 위치한 CC는 재학생이 2,000명이 조금 넘는 작은 칼리지죠. 저는 콜로라도 칼리지가 미국의 다른 리버럴아츠 칼리지와 어떤 점이 차별화되는지 더 알아보고 싶어서 부총장이자 입학처장이신 캐런 크리스토프 씨를 만났습니다. Hi, Karen. It's so great to meet you.
Oh, Emily, it's great to meet you.
So, tell me about Colorado College.
Colorado College is a liberal arts college located in the Rocky Mountain West, in the second largest city in Colorado, called Colorado Springs. And we're really one of the only liberal arts colleges like us in this sort of area of the country. So often you think of the West Coast or the East Coast or the Midwest, and there are many amazing institutions in all of those places. But we really feel like we leverage our location as part of what makes the experience both in the classroom and out of the classroom so distinctive at CC.
Yeah, tell me about that experience at Colorado College. What makes it distinct from other liberal arts colleges around the country?
We have this amazing distinctive academic program called the Block Plan that teaches one class at a time, gives students a deeply immersive, highly focused education. Whatever you're studying, the Block Plan really gives you the opportunity to engage intentionally, to engage deeply, and to be really focused on the things that you love. And classes are intentionally small here, so capped at 16, so that students can have that really individualized, really in-depth kind of experience.
And I picked Colorado College because I was really excited about chemistry and environmental science and the block plan. So CC is already really unique because of the block plan, and we have opportunities that other schools do not. For myself as a student there, I just had an incredible experience. I actually designed my own major, and the title of my major was A New Language, the Architecture of Word and Image. So I worked across psychology, the art department, and the English department, specifically creative writing and poetry. That's another thing about the block plan, is that there is that space and freedom exploration, and that's actually encouraged as a part of the culture.
There is a real sense that you come to Colorado College for the block plan and you take what you learn about navigating a 3.5-week class and you take that into what happens afterward. The other thing we haven't talked about yet is because you do 3.5 weeks of class, we also give you a little bit of time off in between your classes. So you do a 3.5-week block and then you get a 4.5-day block break. And block break can be anything. It can be catch up on your laundry, watch some Netflix, hang out with your friends, or it can be explore this beautiful area where you're going to school.
블록 플랜도 그렇고 긴 방학도 그렇고 저는 이런 학업 시스템이 어떻게 작동하는지 교수님의 입장에서 들어보고 싶었는데요. 감사하게도 영문학 교수이자 콜로라도 칼리지 저널리즘 연구소의 소장이신 스티븐 헤이워드 교수님과 이야기를 나눌 수 있었습니다. Steven, when did you know you wanted to become a teacher?
I would say that I always knew that I was going to be a teacher. My mother was a teacher and my father was a teacher. But I've always had a love of teaching. I've always known that whatever I was going to do, it was going to be in the classroom. And that's what draws me to a place like Colorado College, where teaching is the most important thing. No matter what you write, no matter what you research, no matter where you go in terms of your research, no matter where you get published, the most important thing in the work that we do is teaching. And I think that that's the truth. I didn't always know that I was going to be a writer or what I was going to write, but I always knew that I would be a teacher.
I've heard a bit about the block plan already, but I'm told you can give me some more background. When did Colorado College start implementing the block plan?
We're coming up on the 50th anniversary of the block plan. It was 1969, and the faculty of Colorado College, they asked themselves, what can we do not just to celebrate this big anniversary, this anniversary of the first 100 years of the college, but what can we do to change it? What can we do to get ready for the next 100 years? And they came up with this idea of the block plan. It's a simple, radical idea, and it's that students learn more effectively and people teach more effectively when they do one thing at a time.
That seems like such a simple concept, but at the same time, it's a radical idea. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it though. How is teaching within the block plan different than teaching through more of a standard semester system? Or I guess, what are the benefits of teaching within the block plan?
Why, Emily? What a long question that was. That's let me put it this way. The odd thing about the semester system is that those classes that you're most invested in, that you're most adept at, that you're most capable in, those are the ones that you spend the least amount of time in. You're taking 4, maybe even 5 classes at a time. You're being really shrewd about budgeting your time. You're actually preventing yourself from getting too interested, from getting too invested in a subject. You're also reluctant to take subjects that are particularly difficult for you, because how are you going to manage, let's say, organic chemistry if you have to take 3 other classes or 4 other classes at once? Colorado College, you take 1 class at a time for 3.5 weeks, and professors teach 1 class at a time. And as a writer, I was interested in coming to a place where I could ask my student writers to put writing first in a way that I don't think is possible in the sort of typical semester system. When you're taking 1 class at a time, you can go places. You don't have any other classes that you are taking at the same time. So you can lift a class up out of the college and you can go somewhere. To give you one example, a colleague of mine teaches a class called the Yachtacy, in which they charter a yacht in Greece and they travel the route of Homer's Odyssey on the yacht while reading the Odyssey. Now, if that doesn't make you think, I'd like to come to Colorado College, I don't know what will.
이렇게 대담한 교육 시스템이 있기에 전 세계의 학생들이 CC로 모여주는 것도 놀라운 일은 아닙니다. 실제로 CC에 지원하는 학생의 15%는 외국에서 온다고 해요. 저는 최근에 졸업한 유학생 요하네스 맨슨 씨를 만나 콜로라도 칼리지에 끌린 이유를 물었습니다. Hi, Johannes! Thanks for taking the time to tell me about your experience at Colorado College.
Hi, Emily. Nice to meet you too. It's great to be here.
First off, I hear you're on the road right now. Where are you calling from?
I am currently in Girona, Spain, and I just came from Marseille and the Provence region of France. And before that, I was in Sweden, and I'm after this going to Belgium. So I'm traveling around Europe, and I'm working for a professional cycling team, and we compete in races like the Tour de France and a bunch of other races. And I work as the marketing manager for the cycling team.
Got it. Sounds like a fascinating job. I understand you graduated with a degree in international economy, right? But you're a marketing manager now. When you started at Colorado College, were you already interested in marketing?
Actually, it's kind of funny. When I got there, I was a chemistry major. I was hardcore biochem with like intentions of going to pre-med. When I took my American politics and government class in my sophomore year, and I was like, wow, I really love this course. I then instantly dropped all 3 classes that I had in my second semester after that. And I took political science classes. From that point on, just like really fell in love with political science, and then I really love economics. It is like a kind of like a mindset that like, oh, I can do anything.
Okay, so from chemistry and pre-med to international economy, and eventually you landed a job in marketing. But before we get to that, how did you end up at Colorado College in the first place?
In high school, I went to school in Seoul, Korea, and I went to an international school called Seoul Foreign School. My dad had taught at a university in the US, and my mom had studied at Michigan State. And so I kind of told myself from a pretty young age that I wanted to go to the US, but it was kind of just in the back of my mind. By the time I became a junior, I was more serious with my swimming, and I really wanted to incorporate that into my academics. And one of the easiest ways to do that was going to the US. So from that point on, I was pretty much dead set on going to the US to swim and then also to study.
And eventually you found Colorado College. Tell me about your experience there.
The first 2 months in college, you're in a class with only freshmen, and you're only taking that class with that group of kids. And so for 7 weeks straight, these 8 weeks straight, you're just taking that class. You're really focusing in on that class. And you're getting to know a whole group of freshmen that are also in first years that are also trying to figure out how college works and what they're doing and who they are. And so it's kind of like a nice camaraderie that you build with them. And every day you have class from 9 to 12, which is very unusual for most universities, where you have to juggle your schedule between, I have a 7 a.m. class and I have a 4 p.m. class. And what that means also is that everything around it, you can really maximize your time forming deep and meaningful relationships with people. Like every day before class, you can go to breakfast every day with the same group of people. And I had a group of friends that I went to breakfast with every single day.
Wow, I love that. I always hear about college students having to juggle tons of different classes, but it sounds like that's not the case with the block plan.
The reason you should hear about Colorado College is the block plan. It shapes and forms your experience at Colorado College in very powerful and meaningful ways. So I can go and take a block abroad, or I can go take a block where I just study in Boston. So I took my senior year, I took a class called the Economics of Innovation. And instead of just talking about startups and like, oh, we can read books about startups, but what is actually impactful is going to MIT and going to Harvard and going to different startup incubators in Boston and meeting with the people there that are living and breathing innovation.
Yeah.
And that was super impactful. We were ranked as one of the best schools for innovation. It's not surprising to me that we are, because we are encouraged to expand our interests from the moment we get to Colorado College.
콜로라도 칼리지는 콜로라도 주에서 2번째로 입학이 어려운 대학입니다. 실제로 2020년은 경쟁률이 가장 높았던 해로 지원자 중에서 단 13%만 합격했다고 해요. 와, 놀랍네요. So what kind of students are you looking for at Colorado College?
We want students who have demonstrated by the classes that they've taken in high school that they're strong students, that they have mastered academic rigor with a good deal of success, that they can write with some sophistication and nuance. Because we're distinctive and because of the block plan, we do ask students to tell us why they're applying, and we do read that answer carefully. We really hope that students will not just repeat what we've told them, but that they will really dig deep and think about the ways in which the block plan, the academic structure in terms of interdisciplinary work, block breaks, our location, some of the opportunities that exist here, how they will really contribute meaningfully to the student's education.
혁신은 때로 너무 흔하게 사용되는 단어죠. 하지만 콜로라도 칼리지에서는 제 다음 게스트분의 직업명이기도 합니다. 여러 기업을 창업한 CC 졸업생 데즈 메넨데즈 씨는 현재 콜로라도 칼리지의 혁신국장으로 일하고 있죠. In 2020, US News and World Report ranked Colorado College the third most innovative liberal arts college in the nation. My question is, how much of that has to do with the block plan?
I don't think it's a block plan. I think it's what the block plan allows us to do. Sort of the freedom and exploration that system allows. My goal is to address the whole student. I'm not just interested in them going on to have successful careers, I'm interested in them going on to have successful lives. And part of that is empowering them with the soft skill capacities that we know they're going to need when they go out and face just this world that is just full of rapidly uncharted territory, you know, and just that ability to be comfortable with the unknown and to navigate ambiguity. Like, that's not something that we really teach in education, but it's a really important tool to have in your toolbox. We're investing in faculty and staff, not just in students. That's super unusual and innovative. We always think there's this focus just on students, but in terms of long-term cultural change, investing in faculty and staff is where that happens. Colorado College enables faculty to take risks in the classroom and to bring in things that they don't necessarily have expertise in that they wouldn't necessarily do on their own. There's just something about the culture of the school that graduates kind of innovative risk takers.
Can you share any examples of that kind of risk-taking?
When I was a student in undergrad, I was not thinking about how am I going to make a living. I was totally thinking about what am I interested in, what am I curious and passionate about, and I felt like CC just gave me this complete open runway to explore those things, to design my own blocks. I had a ton of support. It was an incredible undergraduate experience. I mean, because of the block plan, you also just get to do really unusual things. You know, I took a Christian mysticism block where I lived as a Hermetic monk for 3.5 weeks in the San Luis Valley, and it was taught by monks. I took a geology class where I camped out in the national forest in Utah and learned about rocks rather than out of textbooks. We funded a really interesting artist and game designer from New York who came and collaborated in the block. And over the course of the block, they created this interactive game with the students around telling the life cycle story of a blue straggler star.
Today, we created this experience that was a combination of a book and an audio experience that participants go through. And so we wanted to create this immersive experience that allows audience members to experience that.
We wanted to cross disciplinary boundaries and co-create something that could exist within science and art at the same time. And being at a place like Colorado College, where innovation at Colorado College can support these types of endeavors, makes me feel like I can be better at my job in providing students with these experiences to broaden their horizons as what science and art co-creating can be.
There's just something transformative that happens in what we're bringing that you can feel and experience when you're on the ground watching it happen.
혁신 정신은 콜로라도 칼리지에 깊이 스며들어 있습니다. 이곳에서 혁신은 단순한 유행어가 아닙니다. 교수진과 교직원들이 50여 년 전의 학교의 강의 일정을 송두리째 바꾸게 만든 요소이며 오늘날에는 학생과 졸업생 모두가 자신이 몸담은 어떤 분야에서든 꿈을 이루게 해주는 원동력이죠.
Colorado College is a place where you can grow, a place where you can become a version of yourself that you may not have known that you wanted to be, and a place where you will find really wonderful companions along the way. Advisors, peers, and others who will help you sort of imagine your life in college and out of college.
Students come in and expect to be tested, expect to be pushed in terms of what is possible within the college. And I think that says a lot about who the Colorado College student is. There are also students who are really interested and invested in, getting out of their comfort zone, in trying something new. But if you're somebody who wants to push themselves, if you're somebody who really wants to get into something, that's what Colorado College brings.
Colorado College, it feels like home still to this day. Ever since I left there, I can't stop really thinking about it. And it just ended up all really working out for the best because I ended up having the best 4 years of my life.